realise, do you ever notice how much people change as they get older? Now, apart from me, of course, I just look exactly the same as whenever I was born. But people do change, and sometimes it's hard to maybe recognise who they are. So what I want to do is, let me see. I'm going to pick Denzel. Do you look exactly like you did when you were a baby? You've changed ever so slightly? I'll ask your mum. Is he still the same as he was when your precious little baby?
No.
No. Okay, well, I'm just going to show just what it might look like as people change a little. So can you come up, Denzel? So first of all, this is a word of warning to anybody that hasn't noticed this yet. First of all, your hair goes like this, and then your hair goes like this. So, look at this. And maybe while he's got his cool glasses on, you want to swap these for these glasses? We'll put these here nice and safe. And sometimes, as he grows very mature, he might have a moustache. And he might maybe get big hairy eyebrows. Now apparently girls think this is great. So is this still your same Denzel? Does someone want to take a photograph? You can take a photograph. Right, you've got it. Okay, so you can take this back off here. And the kids can have fun dressing up. We have some more dressing up things the kids can take apart later. Hope that wasn't too painful. Oh, okay, you can sit down now, thank you. Okay, take your glasses. Yeah. Okay, so people can change. People can change. Now, I'm not suggesting, and for those that haven't been here, in Kids Church, we've been looking at the story of Joseph. And so last week, we got as far as whenever Joseph was brought out of jail, just as God had told him he'd be brought out of jail. And he interpreted Pharaoh's dreams, and Pharaoh had set him up as basically a ruler in Egypt. And because he organised the whole way of surviving the whole famine that came. But by this stage now, when we first started talking about Joseph, he was a little boy, well, not just quite so little, but he was 17, and God had given him these dreams about how his brothers and his father and mother would all bow down to him, and they really didn't get that. But a lot of time has passed, and now Joseph is 30 years old, so he would look different now. I'm not saying he would have had grey hair, but he would have looked quite different from when his brothers had last seen him. And now, whenever Pharaoh had brought him out and made him really important, he put on the best robes, he put on a chain, he gave him a ring of authority, and everybody had to bow down in his presence. So he was quite different. And the other thing was, when he was 17, he would have spoke Hebrew with all his brothers and sisters. But now he's living in Egypt, so he has to learn Egyptian. And it's just like Dennis and Natalia and Dima, they are used to speaking Ukrainian. They speak it slightly better than I do. But now they have to learn English. But when you've been here for a while, then you will be speaking a lot of English, and so it will be natural for you. And this was just like Joseph. So, and also, if we remember, whenever Pharaoh had to put Joseph in charge, and Joseph said, look, basically, to see in these 7 good years, you used to put away lots of food you store it away because we're going to need it, and there was plenty for all the people of Egypt to eat, and in fact, there was so much of it that people came from all the other countries to eat it as well. And so, and because there was so much of it. Now, one day, imagine Joseph sitting there, and there's all these people bowing down to him in a big long queue, probably as far as you can see. All there wanting to know, was Joseph prepared to sell them some food? Well, who do you think came in the queue? Because Joseph is looking at it, and there's his brothers. 10 of his brothers are in the queue, but he has changed so much, they don't recognise him, and they don't know who he is. They just know that this is a very important man that they've come to. Well, now Joseph recognises them, and he could have used this as an opportunity to get his own back. He could have had them thrown in jail. Basically anything that Joseph said went. But no, Joseph wanted to see if they had changed. So when he pretended to be cross, they said, I think you're spies and you're just going to attack this country. And no, the brothers said, we're honest men. And we're all brothers. And in fact, there was 12 of us. But now, one of us is no more, and the youngest son, Benjamin, he's at home with the father, because our father wouldn't let him come in case anything happened to him. Well, Joseph said, bring your brother here, and then I'll know if you're telling me the truth. But this brother here, Simeon, he must stay, and he's going to go into prison. And basically, if you bring Benjamin to me, then Simeon gets out of jail. But if you don't bring Benjamin, just forget it. There's no point coming back. So the brothers said, oh, surely this is a punishment from God for what we did to Joseph. And we know how scared Joseph was, and yet we threw him in a pit. And our father will never, ever let us bring Benjamin. How can we ask him to do this? And Joseph heard them talking, and he could see that they were worried about their father. And all those years ago, they couldn't care less about their father's feelings. They went and told him a lie. They said, your favourite son Joseph has been eaten by wild animals. Look at his coat, it's all covered in blood and it's torn. And they didn't really care what the father said, but now they're very concerned about their father. So Joseph could see that they had changed. So he said, okay, I'll send you some grain. And so they handed over, they paid with silver coins. But Joseph said to his men, look, you see when you're filling all their bags, put the money back in the bags. So they didn't know a thing about that. And so they went home and they were telling their father all about what had happened and how the important man that they had met, because they didn't know this was Joseph, said, he said we could buy the grain, but we had to leave Simeon there until we go back with Benjamin. And so, but we've got all this grain, so we're not going to go hungry. And so one by one they start opening it. And they go, there's my money. Oh, they're going to think I've stolen this. And the next one opens his bag and says, here's my money. And the next one opens his bag, and every one of them found that their money was there. And they thought, well, what's going to happen? So, was the Egyptians going to come after them and accuse them of stealing? And would Jacob, the dad, ever allow Benjamin to go back? And if they went back, would they just be all arrested for stealing? It's really confusing. And I wonder if this is all part of God's plan. So next week, we're going to do the final part of the story of Joseph, and that's when Janice will be back, and we will bring it all together, and we will find out what God has done through Joseph. So, I'm going to ask Claire and Dima back, and then we're going to carry on doing some worship. Oh, sorry, I have a song, yes, sorry. Yes. Sorry, there's our song about Joseph that we've been singing.
If you don't remember the accents, I think I've learned them by now, so you can watch me.
Yes. He's got my life in his hand. Don't need me. He's in my hand. No things they come and go, but there's one thing I know. He's got my life in the palm of his hand. Do it again. He's got my life in the palm of his hand. No need to fear. He's in my hand. No days they come and go. That is one thing I